most of which seems to have been targeted during the chaos that reigned when the world spiraled into the abyss. In continuing with the worst of times theme, I'll try to summarize what life is presently like. 1. We have now gone roughly 9 years without anything being manufactured and are feeling the effects of it. Things we once took for granted, like shoes, tires, toilet paper, toothpaste, medicine, they're all quickly becoming a rarity. We must rely on scavenging to replace these items or repurposing other items. We'd love to be able to start manufacturing items, but there are many obstacles to overcome. 2. Medicine. If anyone develops cancer or needs an organ transplant, their days are numbered. We simply don't have the means to deal with major illnesses or injuries. 3. Satellites. We have depended on the satellites to be our eyes to the world. Currently, we only have access to 6. As time goes on, we're unable to perform adequate signal maintenance. Their orbits decay, their programming develops glitches, and they ultimately go offline. 4. Ammunition. We are facing critical shortages of ammunition. Cartridge casings can only be reloaded a finite number of times. One good note about Camp Perry: the Joker's team was able to recover over numerous rounds of expended cartridge casings. Like I mentioned, there were 1 or more firefights, and brass was lying around everywhere. Cleaning, inspecting, and reloading will be an arduous task, but currently we have no alternative. 5. The infrastructure of cities continues to deteriorate. Without man's intervention, there is no preventive maintenance, no repairs, no TLC. Mother Nature is slowly but surely reclaiming it all. Everything from natural disasters to heavy rainfalls, an errant lightning strike. A scout team will go on a mission down a road and see a small pothole. 6 months later, that same small pothole has grown exponentially into a gaping crag in the road. We have tried to compensate, but with dwindling resources and the ever-present threat of Zeds, it's a difficult challenge. The dynamic of Mount Weather and the surrounding communities of survivors is robust, cohesive. Any disagreements have been relatively minor in nature, and almost all have resolved without further issue. We have revamped the political system of the Provisional Government of the United States of America. Our districts have been reconfigured. Senators are no longer state senators. They now represent districts of survivors. We've made repeated radio contact with survivor groups in 17 different states. This is extremely encouraging and has allowed us to get a more accurate perspective of how many people are currently alive in America. Still, we have a long way to go. In 9 years, we've only established community relations in a 500-mile radius. And lastly, there has been an uprising of sorts. Nothing violent, but significant nonetheless. A petition was started, and the overwhelming majority of the Mount Weather and surrounding communities have demanded a presidential election. After much deliberation, an election is set to be held in November. As I am writing this, President Abe Stark is running unopposed, but there have been rumblings of discontent out there. There have been anonymous flyers distributed in communities accusing the current administration of being corrupt and running a dictatorship. I've also been named in at least one flyer as being a personal henchman of President Stark. Oh, and they did not stop there. They went on to call Kate, Stark's mistress, all kinds of colorful names. The mere fact that somebody has access to so much paper and a printer with good ink is impressive, but the rhetoric in the flyers is filled with distorted and exaggerated facts, with outright lies thrown in here. Normally I would have laughed it off, but there are people out there who are believing the nonsense. It is both concerning and troubling to many of us. And finally, there are the Zeds. Many have died off, and while that is a good thing, there are still a few million of them out there. What's more, as I have noted in past journal entries, the Zeds are continuing to display unusual behavioral patterns. Here's a short list. 1. Emotions. There have been recorded instances where Zeds have displayed almost human emotions, like fear. 2. Teamwork. There have been multiple instances of Zeds working in tandem rather than as a mindless horde. The attack on the CDC is but one example.